Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about Season 4, Episode 10, titled Self-Reliance, air date December 20th, 2000. And the synopsis is,
When Bessie is away for the weekend, Joey's hoping to get some studying done, but between her responsibilities at the B&B and Pacey's affections, Joey's pressed to find a moment alone to study. She's also trying to cope with her feelings about Dawson and Gretchen's kiss. Meanwhile, Dawson's A.I. Brooks documentary on his life begins. Also, Jen takes Jack to a gay straight coalition meeting in the hopes that he'll meet some friends.
I told you to take the kiss out.
Oh, I thought you meant like the Christmas party out.
No, that whole second, the whole thing's about Joey in the synopsis.
Yeah, well, a lot happened.
No, not really. So it opens with Dawson in his little film room that literally has half of a door.
No, I didn't notice that.
And yeah, it's a small door. And Jack's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Jack at Dawson's? Like, all of a sudden in season 4, we're gonna just act like they're buddy buddies?
Well, they did spend the summer before senior year together.
I still don't see it.
And then Andy's gone, so Jack doesn't have.
He's got Jen.
Was she even in this episode?
This one,
Oh, yeah. Um, yeah, but only some of the time. I mean, he can't hang out with her all the time.
I know, but Dawson and Jack aren't exactly like besties, so it's weird that we're just gonna just put them as besties.
Yeah, well, I like it.
I know, but he's just at Dawson's
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't have the soccer team or football, so he doesn't really have a lot going on,
So Dawson's just the last.
I guess.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where Dawson shows Jack the picture of Gretchen.
Mm-hmm.
And then they bring up the kiss.
Yep.
And how apparently for Dawson it was just a kiss.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't feel like a kiss is just a kiss when it comes to Dawson.
Yeah, me too.
Remember when his aunt said that about Joey? Like when a boy kisses you, it's not just a kiss. Well, I feel like that's the way with Dawson too. Like he doesn't just go out kissing people.
Yeah.
So it has to mean something to him. So I don't agree with him.
Yeah. When Jack and
But I do know that he's trying to hide it because he doesn't know what Gretchen is thinking.
right.
So he doesn't want to be like, "Oh, I'm in love with her," and she doesn't have that same feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's been leading up that they both like each other.
Yeah.
They're spending a lot of time. That's why I really didn't know why he had any time for Jack, because he's been having all of his free time with Gretchen.
Right.
It's either school, Gretchen, or Mr. Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't know why he was with Jack, because he doesn't have any time for him.
Yeah. Except in that moment until Gretchen shows up. Because she wanted to clear the air about their kiss as well. And she was afraid that the kiss meant something more to Dawson, but he says it doesn't.
I know, because I keep playing it.
Yeah, and she says it isn't for her either, just a happy holidays.
Well, that's what you would say. Mm-hmm. If somebody was turning you down, you'd be like, "Oh, that was just a kiss. Yeah. It meant nothing to me."
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that would be hard for her to hear.
Yeah.
But she's 22 years old.
Now she's about 21.
No, they said she's 22.
When? When?
In the episode.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That she's 22. And I'm just like, exactly. She's 22 years old. So why is she with you? You're 17.
Mm-hmm.
I did think it was funny, though, when, I think it was Dawson that said, your younger brother's former best friend.
Right.
I was like, you actually said that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Your younger brother's former best friend.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
See, normally things that Dawson says I don't laugh at, But that was funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Pacey brings up the kiss to Joey while they're at the B&B.
Yeah, for some reason, Pacey's obsessed with the kiss.
Mm-hmm. And Joey's trying to hurry to study before Alex wakes up.
Did you know, though, that Joey called him Alex?
Yeah, that's what I put too.
Because at first it was Alexander, and then she says Alex, and I'm like, Now,
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure this out. So Bess and Bodie leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
To go somewhere.
Yeah.
And so Joey's watching the kid.
Yeah.
Well, and Joey's also going to school,
Yep.
so it's not like it's a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question. During the day, who's watching Alexander? And secondly, who's watching who's watching the guests when they arrive and they're there all day?
I don't know.
Like, she's just leaving the house unattended for the guests and for Alexander?
Maybe it's closed. The B&B's closed during
No,
that
but
time, but
those people arrive.
I think it was just for the
Remember,
night.
she was supposed to be studying.
Yeah, wasn't it for the night though? They
I
left
don't
in the
know, but
morning.
you don't think that there's other guests in the house?
It didn't seem like it because she was.
I know, but it always seems they always make it act like it's like, remember they were this, what was it, and they got like, it was like an A.
Yeah, the best B&B in the state or something.
Yeah. If you're the best, you're always gonna have guests there. So
Maybe
it's
just
just
a slow
weird.
season.
But I was just like, okay, who's watching these guys and who's watching the baby?
I don't know.
If Joey's at school. I don't think the writers thought that through. You know?
Yeah.
This
Unless
is what I
Graham
mean.
watches him. I don't know.
I don't think Grams would watch the kid. So that's what I mean. These shows would not like me on
Mm-hmm.
their staff because I would be questioning everything.
Yeah.
Well, because they always want to. I don't know. It just feels like they're trying to like make the audience stupid, like where we don't question these things. And instead, why don't they question it in the writers' room? You know,
Mm-hmm.
like when you're going over it, how come nobody is speaking up saying this doesn't make sense?
I don't know.
The only people that think it doesn't make sense are the audience. um, Now, how did you like how Joey was treating Pacey?
About
Because she was trying to study, and then she was getting
pushing him away,
she was driving me nuts.
kicking him out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I get that he was making a ruckus with Alex in the kitchen, but she could have just moved him to a different room.
But he's a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, they could have just moved him to a different room.
Like, you're around kids. I'm around kids. That's what kids do. They're noisy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If Joey wants to study, she has a bedroom, I thought. Oh, I thought she had a bedroom.
She should, yeah.
That one episode, the opening of the B&B, she had a bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So why doesn't she go study in there?
I don't know.
And if they have no guests, as you're trying to tell me, then she should have plenty of rooms to go and hide and study
Mm-hmm.
where it's quiet. Why would you tell Pacey to, keep it down with Alexander when he's a babe? Like, he's a kid. I'm not going to say he's a baby because he's
Toddler, yeah.
toddler, but they make noises. So, and she should know that living with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get why she's just go to a different room.
Yeah.
And stop yelling at Pacey, who's watching your nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't, remember, he runs from his nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
So the fact that he actually wants to watch yours,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I give him credit for that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he was just so good this whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was just so annoying. And, I mean, I would have left her at this episode.
Yeah.
The way she was so mean.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought it was funny, though, because when she kicked him out,
Yeah.
she had to dress him, and then she kicked him out. But then when the guests arrived, I was like, now you wish Pacey was there, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I was like, but, karma's a bitch, because, she got, was it a C- on her test?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was like, that's what you deserve for not letting Pacey help you instead of kicking him out. See, that's when he just shouldn't have come back.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, he keeps coming back. He must really love her because he keeps coming back. I'd be like, talk to me in a month. Well, she was driving me nuts.
Yeah, she was annoying. And then the storyline of Jen and Jack going to the cafe for that meeting.
Did you like that? I just feel
No,
like it was kind of random, like out there.
yeah, I mean, it's not that random. Basically, it's just like what Andy was doing before, pushing Jack,
Yeah, but does Jen really need to push him?
No.
I mean, he's still not comfortable with who he is,
Mm-hmm.
so just let him be.
Yeah, I never expected it to be called coalition. That's what threw me off.
Okay, but how would you feel if, like, I pushed you? Like, and you weren't ready? Do you know what I mean? You would come back at me, probably.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, and as your friend, I wouldn't push you if you weren't ready. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if Jen is truly like his best friend, then she should know not to push him.
Right.
Just like Andy, you can push him a tad for being his sister, but there comes a point where you have to let him be. And Andy didn't know where the stopping point was, and Jen doesn't know either, apparently. So yeah, that drove me crazy because I was like, he's just not ready, and just let him be. Like, maybe it's gonna take him 10 years, and if it takes him 10 years, it takes him 10 years. Like, just let him be, you know? Because soon, Jen, you're gonna have no friends. All you have is Jack.
Right.
Well, now apparently she's got Toby. No,
Mm-hmm.
did you like Toby?
No, he's just being
Arrogant.
hard on Jack for not being more stereotypical.
Oh yeah, and then and then he calls him the quarterback, and Jen said, no, he's not the quarterback. They throw him the ball.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god. But also, uh, it was funny though, because when he called him the quarterback and she said he's not the quarterback, yeah, that's right. Jen's ex-boyfriend was the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what I thought. I was like, oh, yeah, that was Henry.
Yeah.
But I guess in this season there is no quarterback, right? Because Henry's not there.
Right.
Now, do you think they did? Why did they get rid of football? I'm trying to wrap that around my head.
I guess because Henry's gone.
Well, you don't think they could have replaced him?
I guess not.
It's just weird. I'm like, I actually like the storyline of the football.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I didn't like Toby. And then he was like, and then when Jack walks in with his jacket, and
Mm-hmm.
he's like, his school jacket, and he's like, oh, that's your jacket or something like that. And Jen goes, no, that's really his jacket. And I'm like, Toby, you're getting on my last nerve.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're pushing it along with Joey.
Yeah. It's just it doesn't make sense that the group meeting or meeting whatever would be called Gate Street Coalition
You're
because
still on that.
yes, because it doesn't sound it doesn't it if anything it should be at least ally, not straight. Because by that point around 2000 the community was already called LGBTQ or not Q, just a T. But yeah, so that's just what I couldn't get over. And then they did go to the bowling alley to prove that the owners weren't homophobic for kicking the lesbian couple out, but then they never like followed up with that. They just had them bowl like a regular day.
You know, they always just stop storyline.
Yeah, so I just didn't really see the point in it even starting
See,
that.
you
So
should have been in the writer's room. You should have been like, this doesn't make sense. You got to follow through.
yeah, now I couldn't back then.
um. Anyway, oh, you know what I had a problem with too.
Mm,
Um. Well, first Jack brings up, which was I thought kind of odd, because he was like, oh, because when they were talking about how the lesbians couldn't bowl
mm-hmm.
there
Yeah.
because they were making out,
Mm-hmm.
and then Jack said something about like, oh yeah, for the future, you know,
Generations.
yeah, not being able to bowl, and I'm like, you know what, Jack?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, why would they make him say that? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't. Now that it is the future generations
Mm-hmm.
and we're in a different time, I
Yeah.
don't think that's settled right.
Right.
Do you?
No.
When I heard that, I was like, my mouth dropped. I was like, I couldn't believe that that was written that way.
Mm-hmm.
instead of it being like a positive thing for the future,
Yeah.
they made it negative.
Yeah, I think they didn't, Jack, it's like Jack didn't really see how it might not have been a big deal to him, but it was a big deal to them.
Yeah, but they didn't fight back when he said that.
Well, because they didn't hear him, right? Because he was muttering under his breath, and that's when
I think he
Jen's
said
like,
it to Jen,
yeah, but I
but
mean,
then
the
she
rest of the
didn't
group.
say anything.
Yeah, well, she's different.
Well, she was the one supporting this whole episode,
Mm-hmm.
so it's weird that she wouldn't say something to him.
Yeah, I mean, she could have later, but in the moment, she just like covered
Now
up
I
and
have
said,
another problem with
yeah.
Jen and Jack in this episode.
Hmm.
Um, they were being so judgmental about bowling.
Oh, yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Somebody who loves to bowl with her family and friends, I have an issue with.
'Cause I felt like bowling was like actually a bigger thing back then too than it is now.
I know. I thought that generation used to. That's what they used to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our generation was like equal to them all,
Yeah.
but I thought theirs was bowling.
Yeah, because like a lot of my family were on like teams like back in the
Yeah,
80s
I feel
and
like. I mean, is there really teams nowadays? I mean, I'm sure there
maybe
are, but
90s.
not maybe as big.
I don't know. I think it's just whatever now. Yeah, because I know at least around here they don't probably do anything now.
But
So,
I mean, I remember like going as a kid
mm-hmm.
with my grandma and grandpa and my cousins and my brother, and um, the bowling alley was like always packed. And now you go, and it's not, and it's sad. It's just like roller skating and everything. Like it's all going away.
Yeah, like we only have one now where we live, and they added all the arcade games and
Yeah, because
the
they're trying to keep people in.
yeah laser tag, escape rooms even.
Oh yeah, I heard that they have the escape room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean,
No, don't we already have an escape place?
we did, but I think that was after the bowling, and then it already closed down. I don't think it was open.
Wait, it closed down?
Yeah,
The escape place?
by Wendy's, right?
I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, that's where it was. It's like escape some.
Oh, Escape Quest, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it's, you know what it's next to?
The
The axe throwing.
yeah, I always want to check out that place, but yeah.
If you go to it and I go with you, I'm running from you. You might try to throw it at me.
No.
Um, but yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like when you would go as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
it was always full.
Right.
And I used to go in the early 2000s. So it's weird that they're make they're being so rude about bowling when that's one of my favorite things to do. I mean, I suck at it. I'm not gonna say I'm like I should be on a team or anything,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I shouldn't.
Yeah.
I just do it because it's fun and it's fun to do with your family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a good 2 hours.
Yeah. Apparently, we do have a men's bowling team for the on the U of M website or Michigan. I don't know what the athletics.
This is entertaining. Do you not know what UFM is?
No, I do. I just wasn't sure if that's what's called because it's athletics. University of Michigan Dearborn EDU on here, but it's like no information, just like the events and some pictures, but like that's it. There's not much to it.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that they have a bowling team. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wouldn't be on it because I suck.
Yeah, like no local ones at
I
least.
mean, we had a bowling team in high school.
Right.
Once again, I wasn't on it,
Mm-hmm.
but I do know we had one, so I could
Yeah.
see if they were really good, they would go to college.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know who's watching them, but okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to like bowling or golfing, um, is it exciting to sit there and watch? Like, could you sit there and watch really good players?
Maybe not so much for golf, but yeah, bowling at least.
Really?
Yeah, just because it's
Wait, you could sit there for like hours and watch
Maybe
watch
not
them.
hours, but
What, for a minute?
no, like an hour or so. Because
You
bowling
could
is just quicker than golfing, because golf is like
all day.
thinking and strategizing and walking to the next hole, so it just takes a lot longer. And then, everything's just right there in the bowling alley, just a little area.
So basically, you'd be looking around and not at the bowlers.
No, I would.
No, I'm just saying because I don't know. I feel like if you're like, obviously if you're on a team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going against another team, you're probably all really good, right?
Yeah.
For majority of the time. And I don't know, like if you're just that good, you're probably going to be getting strikes all the time. And I would probably start falling asleep if I just started watching everybody get strikes. I need to see somebody get a gutter ball. You know what I mean? That's why it's fun to go with like family and friends. And when you all suck, it's just fun because you get to laugh at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you get to make bets with each other. Like, I just, that's what I like. And so I probably could not sit there and watch somebody, like an actual really good team bowl.
Mm.
It's like you're just too good.
Yeah.
Same thing with golfing. Great, you got the hole in one for the 10th time.
Yeah.
I want to see somebody struggle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it more fun.
Yeah.
But that's why I said only for those sports, because obviously basketball, football, baseball, you do want to kind of watch the best.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but you do.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Well, it's more interesting to me.
Oh, what? I have a question for you. What sport is your favorite? Like if you had to pick between football, basketball, and baseball.
I don't know, I guess basketball?
Huh? Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Why?
Well, it's inside for one. I don't like being out in the cold there. Yeah, like I said, I don't like to be out in the cold for the other sports, so.
Oh my god. Yeah, but isn't baseball warmer?
Yeah, but it's still outside. I don't know, I just get bored outside with sports. Inside is just more, I don't know. I guess less
What?
distractions. Less distractions like cars going by and stuff like that. I don't know.
I have never heard somebody say that outside is or isn't. Wait, did you say it's not distracting or it is distracting?
It is
Oh
distracting.
my god. Oh, what? And there's nothing to look at inside? That's boring.
Well, I mean, it's easier to focus on the game.
That's so funny. Okay. Rate them from your favorite to your least favorite.
Basketball, baseball, football, I guess.
Why baseball?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I never really liked watching it because the fence is just kind of in the way of the view. And you gotta have to like have a good spot to even see the person you're watching.
So then why'd you pick it?
I bet that's my least, didn't I?
No, you said football. You
Well,
said
I was going from
basketball.
best to least.
You said basketball, baseball, and football.
Oh,
And then I said, why?
yeah.
And you said, well, I don't really know why.
I don't know. I don't like sports in general, so.
Oh my gosh. Well, good luck to you because we're going to be watching sports in the next few shows.
Well, I know that already, so.
So, Cynthia, get used to watching sports. I think maybe that's one reason why this show is so boring to me.
Because it has no sports?
Yes. It has very minimum entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes if a show doesn't have that, at least they have sports.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't. And so I feel like that's probably why I can't stand the show.
Well, I went from Yellow Jackets to this. So this is a big downgrade.
What is Yellow Jackets? But it was funny because you said it's a downgrade.
Well, it's about this group of teenage girls soccer team. They fly to some game and then they end up crashing in like a woods in the middle of Canada. And they're actually out there for like a year and a half. And It's basically like a Lord of the Flies kind of thing. And there's something else too that could help with the reference. But anyways, yeah, basically they end up becoming like little savages and just like barbarians and end up getting into cannibalism and stuff like that. And there's like something about the woods that they're in that they haven't really explained that well, if it's like actually a thing or not, like a spirit or something controlling them or making them eat each other and stuff like that. So it's just more interesting because it goes like present day, because this took place in the 90s when they were teens. So it goes from the 90s to today when they're in their 40s now, because it's like everything's still haunting them from that time.
Wait, so it goes back and forth?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not
no.
confusing.
No, no, no.
It's not confusing.
No, no, no.
I mean, because I've like watched Lost, that was a lot of back and forth too. So I'm used to the flashbacks and the fast forward and all that.
I don't like the back and forth.
I do. It's more interesting.
I'm always like, what's happening?
I mean, a lot of things do that. The Notebook, Time Traveler's Wife, they all go back and forth constantly.
I just don't like the back and forth.
I do. It makes it more interesting how the past can parallel the future or present.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, Yellow Jackets is a Showtime show, but it's also on Paramount.
Because Dr. Death did that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the back and forth. I was like, it was so confusing because it was like this day, then this day, then this year. And I'm like, ooh, I was so confused. I'm like, I don't know what day we're on, what year we're on.
Yeah, because the 2019 movie of Little Women, they did that too with the back and forth, and it actually made me more interested in the story and be able to like even like understand how everything went. So,
Well, I was trying to figure out. I know, but Dr. Death, I feel like was hard because they were going like patient, and it was like, but this patient, what year was this patient? Like what? And then it was just back and forth all the time, and I was like, I can't. I mean, I got the gist of it. He was a bad doctor, but I'm like, the rest of it, I didn't. I was like, where are we?
did you see the GIF of it?
Probably. I just couldn't with that.
Mm-hmm.
It was too much back and forth.
No, I like it when it
It's
does
one thing if you do like a flashback, which by the way, on TV shows, I have an issue with flashbacks. But well, sometimes some shows, okay, and I'm definitely not saying it's Dawson's Creek because I don't think they've ever done a flashback.
besides for that one episode where it repeated itself.
Yeah, but that wasn't really a flashback. It wasn't like 2 years ago,
Oh, yeah.
That sort of thing, or it wasn't like that. And when they did like the flashback, I guess you want to say, of like when the three of them were little,
Mm-hmm.
they had little kids playing them.
Yeah.
So it was okay. But when shows go back, do the flashbacks, and their characters or the actors have changed, um, or their hairstyles have changed, that's what throws me off because I'm like, it's not real. Look at what this person looked like 2 years ago, and then I'm supposed to believe this? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what drives me crazy because I'm like, I don't believe it. Now I have a question about Dawson's Creek. Do you like that he is doing this movie about Mr. Brooks?
I mean, yeah, but I don't really see how there's enough.
About his life?
Yeah. So basically, it was just really about the 50s when he was filmmaking, maybe sometime after that, but then he didn't do anything after that, filmmaking wise, so I don't know.
Well, and
Unless like an hour thing, but.
Well, and Mr. Brooks isn't, he's not giving any information. It's not like he's an open book where he's sitting there telling his whole life story to Dawson. He's literally giving him nothing. Yeah, he said that his best friend or whatever stole his girlfriend or whatever. And it was like, okay, we get that. But what else? And he doesn't give any information. So how can you make a movie about him?
He does mention about the girlfriend and how they ran off together.
But was he recording at the time? Or did he say it off camera?
I don't even remember.
Because I just feel like, because remember he wanted to stop, and Dawson's like, you can't just stop in the middle of like giving me information. And I'm like, exactly. So how can you even do this about him when he's not giving you anything? Anyway, so let's go back to the whole Jen and Jack storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like that she was like, "Oh, well, I'm going," and that Toby's so sweet and stuff? And I was like, "Whoa, whoa, Jen, Toby's so sweet."
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand that part because he's so judgmental towards Jack that I didn't understand that why he's so sweet. I didn't get that comment.
All right, yeah, neither did I. Because like even when they first met him,
He was a jerk.
oh yeah, that too. But Toby thought that Jen was gay too, and he said that he was relieved that there's a lesbian with a decent haircut in the group.
Yeah, what was up with that comment?
Oh, I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, yeah. But he's just always like talking about something stereotypical, one way or another. But yeah, I don't really see how he's sweet. Even with Jen, he's still pretty much a jerk,
Yeah,
and he's always talking about Jack. So
I know. That's why I didn't understand it, and I just definitely didn't like Toby.
mm-hmm.
Um, so when Joey kicks Pacey out,
Mm-hmm.
um, then he's talking to Gretchen, and he brings up the kiss
Yeah.
to his sister, and then he was talking about how like, oh, like Joey has a problem with it, and then he gets advice from Gretchen of what to do,
Mm-hmm.
and she just says, "Be the perfect boyfriend."
Yeah.
Now, do you think he should push her, as in Joey?
No.
Well, again, I don't know why he would go back and talk to her. So after the way she treated him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in class when she was trying to still study,
Yeah.
and then Dawson sits right next to her. Um, again, just perfect timing that they're just right next to each other. What class is this for?
Um, English, literature.
Hmm. Have we seen this teacher before?
Nope.
Hmm. Always coming up with new teachers
Mm-hmm.
for each episode.
Yeah. And well, they are seniors now, so that makes sense too. But
Well, yeah.
yeah, it is like the first senior teacher we've seen. Oh,
No.
besides for the or maybe not. I don't know.
No, the one where Drew and Dawson and Joey
Oh
had to
yeah, yeah,
work
yeah.
together when
Oh,
they were
was it
going
this?
back and forth, and the teacher was like, "You guys should all work together."
Right. I don't know. I can't remember if that's the same one or not.
I know it's hard when there's like a teacher, and then 10 episodes later,
Mm-hmm.
there's another teacher. Um, what did you think though of the whole Dawson and Gretchen of it all?
I had a feeling something like this was going to happen when they first started talking, when she showed up at Cape Side. But yeah, I'm not. Yeah, just I'm not surprised that they went this direction.
Yeah, but do you like the whole just not telling each other when we've been seeing that they like each other?
Well, I mean that's kind of how Pacey and Joey were, right?
Yeah, but I feel like Gretchen, because she's older, she would just kind of knock it off.
Yeah.
It's one thing for Pacey and Joey because they were like 16, but she's 22. Now, it's still right before Christmas,
Yeah.
and it's weird.
Why
And
is
it's
it
weird
weird?
because this is the second Christmas
Oh,
episode.
right. It's like
And honestly, the episode before felt more like Christmas
mm-hmm.
than this one.
Yeah.
We get like the very end with the Christmas tree,
Mm-hmm.
and then that was it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this whole episode really had nothing to do with Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
The one before where it was the actual Christmas party and they were hanging decorations, that was more Christmassy. So that's what I find weird is that this was played right before Christmas.
Right.
So Pacey then still shows up to Joey's and then they get to talking about Dawson and Gretchen.
Mm-hmm.
And you know I'm just gonna say it. This scene is what I've been waiting for.
About her admitting that Pacey is a perfect boyfriend.
No. Of her admitting that they're the ones that grew up together. That she's still, every time she's with Dawson, she's still stuck as that
Oh.
15-year-old in his room.
Mm-hmm.
And she's never been able to get out of that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, thank you. This is what, because she has matured. Well, not really, not in this episode, but normally she has matured. And, Dawson's always still living in that bedroom fantasy of his,
Mm-hmm.
where she finally admits it.
Yeah.
Just like when Pacey told Dawson, you guys are like movie buddies. It's the same thing. And then to finally hear her say, we grew up together, like we actually grew up. And I was like, thank you. And then, of course, that's when she says she sees her future with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, put a smile on my face. But I knew that was coming. Were you happy that she said that, or were you happy, or were you hoping she was gonna say it about somebody else?
No, I was kind of surprised that she said that.
Is it just because she's so moody, or just because you don't like Joey and Pacey together?
No, it's just that the kiss was bothering her, so I didn't think that was the reason. I thought maybe she still had feelings for Dawson or something. Or else why would the kiss matter to her?
It shouldn't matter to her. And I get why, like, Pacey should be mad because it's a sister. You know what I mean? And, like, you don't really want your friend to date your sibling. Because what if they break up and then it all turns into drama?
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, yes, it could be a great thing. They could live happily ever after. But the whole switch side is it could end badly. And then your friendship could be ruined. And I'm not saying that Pacey and Dawson are friends. I'm just saying in general, you wouldn't want your friend to date your sibling.
Right.
It just causes more drama.
Mm-hmm.
And who wants to live like that?
Mm-hmm.
So I get where he's coming from, but, I don't know. I didn't think really pushing it out of Joey for her to admit it. And I get it, though. She does hide her feelings. But, I don't know. I just thought it was odd because you could tell, though, that she was stressed about being, like, watching Alexander, watching the house, and studying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I honestly thought that's why she was moody. Not that there was a kiss between Dawson and Gretchen.
Right.
Not really until Pacey kind of pushed it out of her this whole episode.
Yeah.
And then she said it bothered her. So then Pacey tells her to go talk to Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
And so she does. Which, why did she have that, like, sad look on her face when she was in his room?
I don't know.
She's just sitting in his room, all sad. Then he walks in, and, okay. Then she tells him that she, like, failed. In her eyes as failing.
Mm-hmm.
Getting, like, a C. And, then he brings up, well, why didn't Pacey help watch Alexander? She goes, and I was happy, though, that she didn't lie. Because I was waiting for her to be the little victim and say, he didn't help at all. Because that would have been like the old Joey.
Right.
But she actually said, I didn't let him help.
Mm-hmm.
And I was happy because he tried to help.
Yeah.
And then Dawson said, he's great with kids, basically because he is one.
Yeah.
Oh, and he goes, I mean that in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dawson. But I do agree. I don't think he meant that wrong.
Right.
It was just funny because he right away had to justify what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just letting it go.
Yeah.
And then what does he give Joey? It's her Christmas gift. Which, by the way, she didn't get him a gift.
Well, that's because it was still not Christmas yet, apparently.
Well, and it's just random because they're not really, like, close friends.
Well, we still talk once in a while.
Once in a while, but I don't know if once in a while you'd get your friend a gift. When you're not really speaking and good looking at me.
Oh, you say, are you sure about that?
Okay, some people I don't know about, okay? What are you trying to say, Cynthia?
Oh, you know what happened last week.
What happened last week?
Remember you got a present on your porch?
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, I think it's Joey and Dawson are still like counting on their history to kind of remain close. But I thought it was sad that Joey had to bring her Counting Crows CD as an excuse just to talk to Dawson.
Well, yeah, and then she was like, let's just pass this back and forth every time we need to talk. And I'm like, this is what I mean.
That, yeah.
If you're friends,
Mm-hmm.
you should just be able to pick up the phone or show up at
Mhm.
each other's houses. You shouldn't need to pass something back and forth.
Yeah.
That's just weird to me. That just makes me seem like you're not friends.
Right. Yeah, so Dawson gave her a picture of her and Pacey at the Christmas party. That apparently happened like a week or 2 weeks before Christmas, but yeah.
Well, was at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Like a couple days ago, remember?
Mm-hmm.
But can I just say something?
Yeah.
It was the cutest picture.
Mm-hmm.
They were just so cute.
Yeah. And then when Dawson was filming Mr. B, I just thought it was funny how he had a camera in his face, so Mr. B says that he'll make his viewers seasick like that.
Why? I have a question.
Yeah.
Why did Dawson put it up in his face?
I don't know, dramatic close-up. I don't know.
Really?
I think he went overboard, yeah.
Who wants to look at someone like if you're the viewer, to literally look at someone's like just their face? Probably the eyeballs, the way Dawson was going.
Yeah, so Dawson actually talks to Joey about Gretchen and, how he has feelings for her, but he doesn't want to ruin the friendship, and Joey points out how their friendship survived everything.
It did?
Yeah, because if it didn't, then he wouldn't have been able to give her that picture. And tells Dawson to follow his heart.
Yeah, but I think Dawson was able to give Joey that because he has someone else that he's looking for.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I mean? Like if Gretchen wasn't around, Dawson would not have given her that picture. Because he would still be living in the past. But because Gretchen's around, that's why he was able to get the picture.
Did you like when Pacey went to Joey's English class to talk to her teacher?
Yes. Oh, and then the teacher was like, oh, I thought I'd be seeing you like fourth period. And then when Pacey was saying, we need to talk about a student. And then he said, but he wasn't going to say who it was, if it was a her or a him. And then all of a sudden he says her. And the teacher goes, oh, so it's a her. And he goes, crap.
And then Pacey did point out how it's a AP English class, so that means that Dawson and Drew are also in the AP class. I don't believe Drew would be in AP class. Yeah, because remember that one episode? They had to do that assignment together.
But was it English?
Yeah, because it was about Shakespeare.
Then it would be the same teacher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Drew wouldn't be in an AP class.
Was it the same teacher?
Credit-wise, I don't think so, but
well, okay, then it wasn't.
Should have been.
It wasn't the same teacher.
Because she wouldn't take 2 English classes.
No. I mean, not unless she needed the credit. Like if she failed, like Pacey, Pacey should be taking. No, but because she's an all-A student, no, she wouldn't be taking 2. Well, I mean, I could see Drew taking because his mom paid for it. To get him in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it looks good for college, so he needs to be in this class, sort of thing. Because think about it. When it came to, what was that guy's name? The one that ruined Joey's mural?
Matt?
Yeah, remember, like, his parents were kind of trying to pay off the school.
Yeah.
For getting him out of trouble. So I just feel like that would have been something that Valentine's would have done, which is pay him through. But yes, I did think it was nice and sweet that he did that.
Yeah.
Because again, she's so mean to him in this episode. I'd have given up on her.
And then she did actually, because at first the teacher said no, but then later on the teacher gives her another chance because apparently there's another student who has to take the test as well.
Well, what I thought was funny was when the teacher went to Joey. He said, Joey's better half.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, someone else sees what I see. Pacey is the better half.
Yeah.
But also, you know what I actually was thinking too,
Mm.
halfway through watching this episode? Joey would have been the perfect student that would have been good for our school in the grading system. The stupid grading system we had.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you didn't do well, you could retake the test. Joey would have loved that.
Right.
Honestly, Joey probably would have retaken every test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she'd get the best grade.
Yeah. So I feel like she would have definitely taken that opportunity at our school.
Mm-hmm.
Where like the rest of us were like, we're probably just going to fail again.
Yeah.
I don't know. There wasn't really much happening in this episode.
Yeah, like Toby just showed
It was
up.
just like back and forth storylines.
Toby showed up at the school, Cape said, and he talks to Jack, and, Toby tells Jack about his story about when he was younger and how kids would pick on him, so his older sister had to, save him, and, Jack was, and like he said that Jack was right from before, like he doesn't know him, and he shouldn't assume, just because he's like a jock and all that.
But you know what I thought was weird was that, Toby said to Jack, like, oh, you don't know what it was like, do you? Like to have your sister defend you. And I was like, and then Jack says no, and I was like, no.
I think it's just because he said big sister, but yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Andy protected him through everything.
Yeah, and maybe just because Toby was really young when this happened, and this is kind of all brand new to Jack, so I don't know.
But it made no sense. I'm like, but you have a sister who stood by your, like, I just didn't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what?
Yeah, they did relate a little bit there, but then it went right over their heads.
That would have been a perfect time for the writers to throw that in there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're supposed to, again, it's like as if Andy doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Because it would have been a perfect thing to say, no, I have a sister, and, she's been with me through everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't even acknowledge Andy.
Right. Then we find out that Mr. B is sick because his nurse goes off on Dawson about, making him tired from all the documentary making and all that. And Mr. B says he still wants to do the documentary because it looks like the A&E biography isn't going to get him anytime soon.
Well, and I didn't like that the nurse, was it?
Mm-hmm.
And she just went off on Dawson.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dawson didn't even know that he was sick in the first place.
Right.
He didn't know that Mr. Brooks stopped taking his medication.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go off on Dawson when he didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
He brought up doing a documentary on Mr. Brooks, and
mm-hmm.
Mr. Brooks accepted.
Yeah.
That was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Mr. B did talk about his girlfriend named Ellie Andrews and how she left with him to LA to go to Las Vegas. And Mr. B says he missed her, and Dawson looks like he really feels sorry for him. And I thought maybe at this point that Dawson would try to find Ellie, and reunite them. Because I think that would have been nice, but I don't think that would happen.
Yeah, but like the internet wasn't like big back then. I feel like it would have been a lot harder for him to find Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like
Maybe
nowadays, it's a little easier to try to track somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, you'd have to know a whole lot of information on the person to even try to find them.
Mm-hmm. I feel like if anything, Dawson would only have like a phone book, or I don't know, somehow maybe Doug might know something. Or
Doug?
Someone. I don't know.
Doug?
You never know. Because he did go to Doug to try to find
Eve.
Yeah, so that wouldn't have been a stretch if he went to Doug for that.
Yeah, but Doug, he's not very bright though, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't really think he would know how to find Ellie.
Yeah, so Joey just thanks Pacey for helping her get her retake.
Yeah, and then he stops her from kissing because, they have something else that they need to be doing, which is studying.
Mm-hmm.
And see, this is what I mean. Like, people like to say, like, Pacey's a slacker and stuff. And he is when it comes to his own schoolwork.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not when it comes to the person that he's with.
Right.
Because think about when he was with Andy.
Mm-hmm.
he was definitely like the perfect boyfriend, and he's doing the same thing with Joey.
Mm-hmm.
He's helping her study.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how many teenage boys can say or do that?
Right.
You know, a lot of them are like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you're studying, bye.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually going to help her study, and doesn't mean he's not dumb. You know, he puts the person first.
Mm-hmm. And then Dawson admits his feelings to Gretchen while they're waiting for the tree to be lit.
That was kind of awkward.
Yeah,
Because
and
afterwards, they just kind of like
look
stood
at it.
there for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Gretchen just tells him that a kiss is just a kiss, and sometimes a kiss
And
just
then it just
means
stops.
happy holidays. Yeah.
Yeah, because then Dawson stops and just says happy holidays. And then it was like, that was it. And I'm like, she was in the middle of something.
Yeah. I mean, I get. That's probably what she was going to say, but yeah, so basically she said that she doesn't have feelings for him.
Yeah, and then it just stops.
Mm-hmm.
He cuts her off, and then that was another episode.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You can't just say that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just awkward to me.
Mm-hmm. So then you're high and low?
So my high would be mm, Pacey helping Joey study and Pacey talking to the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't have to do that because she was so mean to him. And my low would be Toby and his group being judgmental to practically everybody.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Basically the same thing. High is when Joey let Pacey actually help her, and then the low is just everything with Toby.
And then I would rate this a 7. I mean, it wasn't like the greatest.
Yeah, didn't really add anything to the show.
No, and there wasn't really that much going on in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 7 as well. And then best and worst characters?
Yeah, who's your best and worst?
Bess is Pacey, of course, because he was trying to help Joey the whole time, even though she was pushing back.
You didn't say Dawson?
No. Why?
I don't know.
I mean, he was good too, but...
Because they gave her the picture?
Yeah. You know, just...
I don't know. Usually you're on Dawson's side, so I just think you'd pick him.
I mean...
Look at you, you're thinking, you're like, maybe.
They're both good, but Pacey's just like, you know, doing the most he can. And then, the worst is definitely Toby, with his judgmental self, and jumping to conclusions about Jack without getting to know him.
Mm-hmm. So for me, the best was, of course, Pacey. I have to give the best to him. And then the worst, I was going back and forth. Because there were 2 people in this episode I could not stand. And that was Joey and Toby.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, Joey did come around when it came to Dawson. And she wasn't all being Joey-ish. You know, like childish when it came to Dawson. Like trying to stop him from liking somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so I liked that part. And also, she finally came around when it came to Pacey. But, so the one who really bothered me was Toby. So yeah, he overtops Joey. Sadly. I really hope he's gone after this. I just don't like Toby. He was bothering me.
Yeah.
Because he just kept acting like Jack is this jock who, you know, basically isn't gay when he is.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just putting him in that category without truly getting to know him, like you said. So I didn't like that. Because should we make accusations about you, Toby? No. So don't do it to somebody else. I mean, isn't that what your whole, like, standing up is all about, is not judging each other?
Right.
Like protesting and stuff? So, yeah, you shouldn't do it to others.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the next episode?
The Tao of Dawson.
Interesting.
Episode 11, and it will be the first episode of 2001.
Oh, thank God, we're in 2001. We're getting there.
Yeah, well, see, 99 went a lot longer.
I know, 99 was so long.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think we would ever get to 2000, remember?
Yeah.
And then when we did, it was like we could throw a party.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.